Hi everyone, welcome back to Discover and Learn. How to describe something, how to describe our experience, how to describe what we see, how to describe what we are doing in English. Let's talk about it. I'm going to simplify everything for you. So in this video, I'm going to take up scenarios, everyday scenarios, what I have witnessed or what I experience every day, and I'm going to describe that in very simple English. These scenarios are such that it happens with every one of us. You can take these as an example and you can speak about any other scenario as well which has taken place in your life or which happens to you every single day. Okay, you can speak with me, you can repeat after me, you can shadow with me, right? So there are lots of things you can start practicing. So there are lots of ways you can start practicing to speak English fluently and confidently. So practicing in this way on real life scenarios will definitely help you to become fluent and confident in speaking in English with anyone, anywhere, anytime, on any topic. So guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. But if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, quickly subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, do write your comments in the comment section, and do not forget to press the notification icon so that you get all my videos on time, free of cost, and access to all the amazing content on this channel. What you have to do is stay tuned, stay connected, and watch my entire video to master this skill. Now let's begin. Now, scenario number 1. So when I go to drop my kid to school, there are lots of things happening inside the school or near the school. So I'm going to talk about everything in detail. Okay, so first I'll start with what do I see. Okay, when I reach the school, I see a long queue of cars parked. They park their cars outside and they take their kids and drop inside the school. Everybody is in a hurry. Mornings are usually busy for everyone, right? Somebody has to immediately leave to office. Some people go back home and then they have to get dressed and go to office, or somebody works from home, so there are different timings. But that is a time which is very crucial. Everybody is in a hurry. Everybody has to start their day off, right? So the first thing they do is they drop their kids to school and then they go back and start with their schedule. So that is why everybody seems to be in a hurry. I can see kids carry their school bags, lunch boxes, and water bottles. Everybody has to reach the school on time. So once the time is over, the assembly starts and the gate starts closing. And then you just have 5 minutes window to drop your kids inside the school. Otherwise, if you are late, you have to take your kid back home. So that is why the 10-15 minutes is really challenging for everyone, the parents and the children, to get inside the school. So there's a lot of crowd outside or near the gate. So children come by school bus or auto rickshaws or private vans or with parents. So this is how school looks like in the morning. Okay, now I'll get into personal things. Okay, what happens every day when I, drop my kid and when I'm coming back? So what happens? So usually when I go and drop my kid, I meet a lot of people whom I know. A lot of people from my society also go and drop their kids. So when we meet, we exchange greetings. We say hi, hello, good morning. At least, these greetings we exchange. And if we have time, if we are coming together, when we are coming back together and we have time, then we stand there for a minute or two and we talk to each other about how are things, how is it going, how is your professional life, how is your kid doing, anything about school, anything about our personal life or professional life we do speak about. Okay, like today I met my daughter's friend's mom. She was going to drop her kid and I was coming back. So we just stood there for a moment and we chatted. It was a very simple chat. We were just discussing about our kids, how friendly they are with each other and how comfortable they are with each other. When they come back, they hug each other and they come back home. Okay, so this was what we discussed at that time. But since the time was very less, so we couldn't talk much. But yes, we exchanged these things like about their bonding basically. So this is what we chatted about. So basically, when I go to drop my kid and while coming back also, I meet a lot of people, familiar people, like my daughter's classmates, parents, or friends from my society, etc. So we exchange greetings. So this is what happens. Okay, so this is how I explained the scenario. I took a scenario like how mornings are when I go to drop my kid, what happens there. So I just took it and I started explaining everything to you in detail. So what you can start with, what you can see first, right? People going in a hurry, right? Kids are also carrying school bags, water bottles, lunch boxes, the door is closing, there's time, assembly has started, school buses, auto rickshaws, vans, etc. Lots of things which is happening, which you can see. So start describing them first. And then come to the personal thing, like if you speak to somebody or if some incident has happened which you want to talk about. So these things you can just include in the second half of the conversation or speech. Okay, and then you can end it whatever you like. If you can summarize it, if you want to conclude it with something, you are free to choose any conclusion what you want to say. Otherwise, the first part and the second part is fine. You just have to describe what you see, and then you can just talk about anything personal which has happened to you or which happens to you every day, right? You speak to somebody, you have spoken to somebody, or you saw something which was happening in front of you which you want to describe. Okay, so this is how we speak about any scenario. Okay, scenario number 2. I'm going to talk about how I shoot my videos. Okay, it's very interesting, guys, so stay back. You can also start doing this. So when I come back home and I prepare myself to start shooting, so I come up with my diary, I jot down the ideas, the points, the topics, everything. So basically I do a lot of brainstorming before. So I collect all the ideas, I collect all the topics, I take some, I do some research on my laptop or my mobile, whatever is there. I use AI as also for my research. Okay, just to understand what matter or content I can speak on or about. Okay, so this is what I do beforehand. So I brainstorm, I collect all the ideas, I write it down or jot down my ideas or points in my diary, and then I start preparing myself to shoot. Okay, so for shooting, what I have a tripod, I have a camera, I have a mobile phone, I have my laptop and a mic. Okay, so these things are there for my shooting. So I fix my camera on my tripod and I sit on my chair. I have my laptop and mobile with me, and of course my diary is also there. And then I recollect everything. I come up with some sentences how to start off with, and then I start shooting. Okay, so this is the entire process which happens before shooting. And of course, while shooting, I just simply look at the camera and I shoot. And after shooting also, there's lots of things which I do. I start with editing and etc. Lots of things which happens later. So I am not talking about that. I just wanted to talk about how do I shoot my videos. So this is what I do to shoot my videos. Right? Brainstorming, research, then I prepare my camera, wear my mic, and then I start shooting, right? So this is how I describe the entire process from beginning to end. How do I shoot my videos? In the same way, if you're cooking something, if you are gymming, if you are exercising, if you're singing a song, if you are playing a musical instrument, if you are gardening, or you're doing anything, right? You're watching a movie, you're listening to a song, you can just talk about it in this way. So these are very basic scenarios. First scenario was I took up an activity which was happening, right? I went to drop my kid to school. So what happens there? I just spoke about it. You go to a mall, you go to a shopping complex, you go to a vendor, you go to a vegetable market, you go to a grocery shop, etc. So you can take that scenario and you can just start speaking about it, right? Next scenario I've taken, how do I shoot my videos? You can talk about how do you exercise? What do you do at the gym? How do you cook? How do you play a musical instrument, etc. There are lots of things you can just replicate this scenario, in which you can replicate this scenario, right? So start talking about things, what you do, what you experience. So start talking about your actions, your activities and experiences, right? In this way, if you start talking about things in this way, you'll definitely become fluent and confident in speaking in English. This will help you to gain fluency and confidence in speaking in front of people. Okay, so start taking up these scenarios and these actions, activities and experiences and start talking in English about it. So guys, that's it for today. I'll see you in my next session. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, keep watching and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye and take care.